Hey, what's happening? On episode 14, we got Richard Russell, we got Yacht Rock, we got some fat loss tips, we got cool sculpting for the hair, we got the chick arrested for some crazy fucking monkey videos.
Sick.
Military dog program, and Sebastian Sawe, the marathon man.
Let's do it.
Hey, what's happening? Welcome to. Thank you.
All for you, Mike. All for you.
Thank you.
I gotta love it.
Welcome to episode 14 of Skull Session. My name is Mike Hussey, and I'm with my boy
Rich Tierney.
And we are cranking, dude. Let's go. Let's get this.
Episode 14. A lot going on this week and very diversified.
Yeah. Yes. We have a different take on shit this week.
I know. I mean, not that it's important. We still have not even bothered with the Strait of Hormuz or Iran or any of that.
Nah, you know what, dude? That's like we gotta have a special.
A special?
Fucking special on that. Yeah.
I guess it's special. But there's so much other shit going on that it's kind of like, I don't know, more interesting stuff. And I think today, actually, we got back because we always said from the beginning, we try to like work out. Like it's hard every day, but we actually got some tips. Or actually, we did a little bit of deep dive on a couple things. And, of course, we got our usual psycho sick people. Like just when you think like the dude climbing in the dead deer carcass or humping the dead deer on the side of the road was enough, something else comes up.
Yeah, there's always some psycho. But I had seen this great documentary about this guy named Richard Russell. I don't know. It was in all the papers. He had stole a jet. He worked as like as baggage handler in I think it was Alaska, and they show him going through all the checkpoints, because he had a badge, showing his badge. Then they show him running onto this jet. It wasn't like a 747, but it was a huge jet, two giant props. And he took the jet up. And the whole time he was talking, to the air traffic controller. He's like, yeah, I'm just, they go, do you know how to fly a jet? He's like, no, I learned, whatever I'm doing, I learned how to do on video games.
Yeah.
And
simulate.
Exactly. Like 9/11. But anyway, I mean, the beauty of the documentary was it wasn't about that this guy stole the plane, because thank God he didn't kill any. It was about mental illness, because the guy was perfectly, dude, he was married. He had a little daughter, went to work every day. But the thing was, he was making $12 an hour as a baggage handler. Like it was a non-union company. And, they said, if you go take some college courses, you'll get a raise. He took all the college courses. They didn't give him a raise. So one day he said, fuck it. And he took this plane up in the air. And at the whole time he's talking to these air traffic controllers. Now, of course, they send out two fighter jets.
Yeah.
So the guy's still talking, dude, and he's running out of fuel. And he finally says, do you think this thing can do a barrel roll? And they're like, well, we don't really think you should do a barrel roll. Bro, the guy does a barrel roll in this jet. And Pete, they have it on film, and he missed the water, this giant lake, by less than 10 feet and went back up in the air. And they said, well, listen, we have a bunch of pilots here. We're going to try and talk you down. And he goes, I'm not going to land this thing. And, he ended up crashing and killed himself. He didn't kill anybody. He crashed into an empty island in that whole lake system that he was flying over.
Seattle.
But it was just like, why, like up until the day before, having dinner with his wife and kids, everything was fine. Left for work in the morning. Goodbye, honey.
Right.
And just snapped and took the plane up. And, that was, like I said, that's the beauty of the whole thing, because it was more about, like, you don't know everybody that says, hey, good morning. Hey, good. I'm doing great. Like this guy was every day, but he wasn't. He was far from great. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it could have turned out a lot worse because he could have, crashed on a highway or into a building or whatever. But yeah, it was just sad, man. It's a sad, sad documentary. And for the guy never flying a plane before, he's the only person in the world that did a barrel roll with a jet like
Right.
that, except for Denzel in the movie that he flipped the plane upside down. But
I'm
but
wondering what
still,
they did after that as far as, like, probably nothing to make sure, like, somebody can't just take the jet, you know?
yeah. I mean, like I said, they literally showed a guy running onto the tarmac. And it was the type of jet where, just a bunch of stairs came down and you climbed up the stairs,
Yeah.
like you didn't walk down a taxiway or anything to get on it. And yeah, I'm sure the regulations got a lot stronger after
You would think,
Russell
you got
decided
all these
to.
people coming on board all the time, like, cleaning it, the jet,
Right,
delivering
right.
food, gassing it up, like, this you know, there's so many people that are involved with everything at an airport, like, anybody could go do something.
Right. One of my boys, when I was really young, a friend of mine, Angel, had a job at the airport. And one of his jobs was, after the plane, you go clean and stuff.
Yeah.
And he found like bricks of blow stuffed into, like where the magazines and shit are. So, he thought it was a setup. So, of course, he turned it in, but it wasn't a setup. I mean, the guy who was supposedly pick it up, I guess Angel found it ahead of this guy. But
Right.
yeah, I mean, but that was what, in the early 80s he found this shit. Woohoo.
Yeah, that's why whenever I go to the airport and they got, like, TSA and you're going through there, I'm like, "Alright, I get it." But, like, I think if somebody wants to do something, they just get a guy like that to put something in the cargo
Right
bay of the
before,
fucking
yeah,
plane.
yeah, yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many people involved. You hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah,
But
but I
if I
mean, like you said, you could walk on there with a 9 millimeter and jam it in seat 34B,
Right.
and who's
Yeah,
gonna
or if
know?
you pay somebody, like, those people aren't making, like, killer money.
Right,
They get, like, radicalized by somebody like, "Hey, I'm gonna slip this thing in when I'm cleaning the fucking junk out of the seat,"
right, right.
and then
I
the
just I
person
just
gets
I just got my TSA, my KTN number.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, and that was pretty painless too, but, yeah, and I also found out if you're 65 and older, you can walk up to the front gate and ask to be boarded first, so I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah, they usually say anybody who needs extra time, like,
Yeah,
come up
that's me.
now.
I'm going lipping up there like, I'm on my last legs. Ow, 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 ow. Yeah, yeah, why not?
Yeah. No, I'm with you. Luckily, I don't have to do too much of it, but I hate freaking traveling. I don't know how people do that shit every week.
Yeah, it gets old, I guess, dude. And you know what? Somebody like us, like you worked in construction, and I didn't have any friends that flew for work, because they were all just like us. But I don't know. It seems cool, but if when you've done it, like you go here, you go to a meeting, and you go back to your hotel room. You're not going to go get smashed every night, or you know what
Well,
I
people
mean?
do.
Well, yeah, of course, but
Oh, it just sucks traveling. That's why when I'm waiting online and they board you by groups, you're American Airlines, and there's only, like, on a 737, say, like, 8 first class seats. And these people board first, and I'm like, "Well, most of you are only there because you travel every week, so you got a shit ton of points." And
right, right,
you get bumped up and stuff, which you can keep it because I don't wanna travel every week. You know
right, exactly, exactly.
my buddy John does a lot of traveling all the time, and, like, I just it's always delays, fucking waiting for shit, you know,
Well,
piling it on in the
and
airport. It
since
sucks.
9/11, it's just the whole shit show
Yeah.
they show like these trackers of that TSA lines at certain airports. It's like you got to get
Oh,
there
it
3
sucks.
hours ahead of time.
I mean, DFW had always been good, and this airport here in Jacksonville is small, and they redid the security, like, you walk up and it's big. It isn't that bad,
Right,
but
right.
ever since COVID, they airlines got money, and then they cut all these flights out, so now every flight is full. There's never, like,
Oh yeah,
empty
yeah.
seat. So, like, that's never a thing, like, every freaking flight's full, and these people come on with these carry-on bags. They don't wanna pay to check a bag or something, and they can't even raise it to put it up top, or it won't fit, and then the poor freaking flight attendant's gonna come by and try and
Smash the
slam it
fucking thing
in
in.
order
Right,
to
right,
close the
right.
top. It's just a shit show, man.
I mean, that's that's what I said because we're going whatever May 11th. I said I think I'm just going to put everything in my suitcase and check it. I'm not even going to even bother with the fucking carry on. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like
Yeah, it's I t dude, I get, free because of the American Airlines card, I get free, like, check bags, and even if you don't, like, I just don't wanna deal with it, like, I'll go to the counter, and they usually will check your bag for free at the gate because
right,
they don't
right,
wanna deal with that shit,
right,
and just that way I just got my knapsack then, like,
right, right.
it's
Yeah,
just a
I mean, because
total
yeah, I mean, and we're guys, dude. We bring half the shit a woman
right,
brings. You know what I mean? So
yeah, it's
I'm
just,
I mean, I already, like, figured it out that it's like, I really don't need that much shit down there, you know what I mean? We're just going down there to relax, no excursions, no
and you're going somewhere warm, it's, like, different. Remember the last time I came up to New York and
oh, it's
you and I
fucking
got together, it was getting cold,
yeah,
yeah, like,
right,
I gotta bring all this stuff, jeans, freaking hoodies, sweaters, jackets. When you're going somewhere warm, you need, like, some swim
right, right.
trunks,
Right,
shorts,
right, right,
a
shorts,
couple
a couple
shirts.
shirts, and some, maybe a
Yeah.
couple pair of linen pants if you're going out to dinner, and
Yeah, you're done. It's, like,
yeah, I
way
remember when
easier,
the
man.
when the kids were small, going on, like, ski vacations, oh my god, you wanted to fucking
Boots,
start
gloves, all
screaming, oh
I
my
know.
did you bring my favorite gloves? Oh, Christ. I remember I
Yeah,
went
no good,
skiing,
man.
dude. First time I went ski I didn't know how to ski. Uh, Maureen knew how to I didn't know, but I borrowed somebody's shit, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I looked like an Alpine down, I had this awesome black outfit on. I looked like I could do like double diamonds. I was I was on the bunny hill for like 3 hours. I remember screaming at the old lady going, "We could have been in fucking Miami for all the money I'm spending on this shit."
Yeah. I remember a lot in Texas, a lot of people would go up to Colorado skiing in the winter because there's no snow in Texas,
Right, right.
and I'm
Well,
like, I
and
don't
you
know.
gotta know what you're doing if you're going to fucking Colorado to go skiing, that's
It's
for sure.
actually easier than, like, on the East Coast because the snow is
Well, there's
powder.
snow there, right, it's
I
not an
mean,
ice
ice.
skating, it's like
Yeah.
black ice and Hunt the Mountain.
I remember I felt, by where we lived in Orange County, you went right over to New Jersey, and it used to be like, what the hell was Vernon Valley.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I used to go over there during the week because it was only, like, maybe a half hour from Goshen, and the lift tickets half price after 3. And you could get a ton of skiing in. I remember it
Right,
started snowing, and the worst I've ever felt was that, and I still remember it, I'm walking from that gondola with my skis in my hand up to where you put them on to go down the hill, and there was ice underneath the snow that was there, and my feet hit it with those boots, and I was, like, feet up right
yeah,
on my back of my head and
gone,
my
yeah,
shoulder blades, like,
bang.
y bang, like
It
UFC.
it happens
That.
like that, boom,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
I know,
out of control.
yeah, fucking
So
yeah,
what's
that's
the deal with the yacht rock? I just had,
bro,
I actually found a good Spotify channel not too long ago that I turned on, like, one of our neighbors to, and it was a lot of that, like, 70s, like, music.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I seen a special, documentary on it, and it's all just great music from the '70s, and all these guys are just still making tons of cash because one is revived, and now they did like this guy was I forget what band he was from, but they do all these cruises. You know what I mean? They
Yeah,
just go
I
on these
seen
yacht
that.
rock cruises.
Right.
And everybody's like, our age or older or maybe a little younger, and there's nobody's on there doing acid and throwing shit at them and stuff like that. But yeah, but it's all just great music, man. The old school like those guys from Toto. Remember
Yeah,
Toto?
Vaccaro Brothers.
Bro, they played Toto. If you look at Michael Jackson's Beat It album,
Yeah.
Toto was the band. The Picaro brothers, I think, was the drummer, and the guy was the singer and the guitar player.
Yeah.
Like, these guys were so talented, it was ridiculous. But
Yeah, there was some killer musicians back then
yeah,
between
yeah.
all the people that play with Steely Dan
Steely Dan, yeah. Yeah, that
and
was another one.
Toto. and even going into the Doobie Brothers,
Yup.
Michael McDonald and all them.
Yeah, Michael McDonald's another bro, the amount of songs that Michael McDonald is on is it's off the charts. How many how many different artists that he was on, played with. And another one, Christopher Cross.
Yeah,
I
Christopher
mean,
Cross,
yeah,
and
that
even Chicago, Peter Cetera,
right, right,
like,
right. I mean, those guys
unbelie
are great,
I
great,
know.
and great musicians. Like
Yeah.
Jeff Porcaro, they were showing a thing of Toto playing, and when he was on stage singing, playing guitar, he was 17, like he was like a junior in high school still.
Well, yeah, that was Neil Schon and from Journey. Like,
Right,
Santana
right,
found him in some club.
right, right,
Although, like, he wasn't really into the whole, the way Journey went, like, when Steve Perry and then, who was the keyboard player? He wrote a lot of the songs, but they turned it, like, really pop. At first, Neil Schon wasn't, like, into it, but
right, right.
ultimately, like,
Until he seen the checks coming in.
yeah, till people actually went to see him instead of
Yeah,
you being
yeah,
like Santana Part 2.
yeah. I seen Journey at the Meadowlands with I think it was Ted Nugent, Frank Marino, and Mahogany Rush. Remember
Yeah.
those? Yeah,
I I
another
just saw
concert.
f you and I talked about it, but I nobody else here knew about it, but I just seen Foreigner at the amphitheater here in St. Augustine, which they were basically, just a cover band, except, Lou Gramm, who's totally screwed up now with some kind of brain thing. He came out and sang a few songs with them. But they got some kid that's, like, dead ringer for, like, Lou Gramm back in the '80s, you know?
Right, like that Asian kid that sings like Steve Perry.
Yeah, Filipino kid, yeah.
Yeah,
But,
living in a fucking dumpster when they found him.
yeah, I mean, this newest version of Foreigner, the singer, was the backup vocalist and guitar player for that cover band, Foreigner cover band, basically. Because like, Mick Jones has got Parkinson's, he can't tour, and
Right, right.
Lou Gramm is fucked up with some kind of pituitary gland thing. But the band was good.
Yeah.
You forget how many good songs Foreigner
Oh,
had.
they were great, dude.
Yeah,
They were great back in the day.
I know.
That
I
one
mean,
song, that love song that was at every wedding during the '80s.
yeah, it's
It
like, well,
ev
they played the whole album Foreigner 4, and
oh,
that was on that album.
yeah, that's a great album. Great
No,
album.
it was good, man. I wish somebody better, it was a great venue, like, if you get down here, but I need somebody else that's good to come there. Like, I just seen George Thorogood, who I hate. I hate that freaking song "Bad to the Bone." I don't know
No, no,
why.
no,
Yeah,
no.
and is playing, like, Marshall Tucker Band, which is probably just, like, a cover band, which I like Marshall Tucker,
Yeah, they were
but
great.
we'll see. Somebody good comes along, I'll hit you up, and you have to come down, we'll head over there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like that's the special I was just watching is the beginning of, like Metallica and, same thing. These guys, they were all like 17 years old, these guys. Dave
yeah,
Mustaine and Cliff Burton and excuse
right.
me, yeah. It was it's and they were getting everything was cassette tapes back then. I mean, it was like the '70s, right? So that they had gotten a cassette tape of, Iron Maiden and Saxon,
Yeah.
and they never even they were like, "What is this? Do we gotta be like that?" But
Well, the
yeah.
first 2 Iron Maiden albums always loved, like, that Paul Di'Anno was a great vocalist.
Yeah, oh yeah, he was
I mean, they
great.
were more, like, on the cusp of being, like, punk or something with the
Right,
dual
right.
guitars going, like, Iron Maiden, the first album and the second album, Killers,
Yeah, yeah.
they were great,
They were
man.
great, man. I've seen
Yeah,
I don't know how many times I've seen I don't remember 1 minute of it, but I've seen him a bunch of times.
yeah, yeah. No,
But
I
yeah,
dug it.
we used to know shout out to, George Navedo, this guy that hung out with us when he was younger. He was a mailman dude, right? So
Yeah,
he was delivering mail to the 79th Street boat basin, and he was a Puerto Rican dude. And, he had heard some he used to leave the metal on the leave the mail on this guy's boat, and the guy was rocking, listening to some rock music, and the guy came out, and George goes, "Wow, man, you like rock?" He's like, "Oh, yeah." And make a long story short, this guy said, "If you ever wanna go to a show," this guy worked for Rock Hotel, "just give me a shout and I'll get you tickets." So, we would see anybody, and we would call
Yeah,
George. George would call this guy, and I remember we seen Wasp, and I don't know who else was there, but we George called, and we would go to the front of the Palladium, there'd be hundreds of people online, and it would say, "George the mailman +5," and boom, we'd get right in. It was
yeah,
unbelievable, unbelievable. And then but remember the Pier? Remember going to shows at the
yeah. I
Pier?
saw, Allman Brothers there, Stevie Ray, bunch of
Priest, I
shows
seen
there.
Priest there, Cheap
That
Trick.
place was out of control. It
It
was
was
just like
great.
some dark freaking, like,
Yeah,
grimy, like, venue.
with the stage set out into the water.
Wa
Oh,
into the water, right, and
yeah,
nobody gave a shit, like, what
nobody.
went on. They just locked in the fencing and, like, "Go ahead, have
My
fun."
friend was working for the catering down there, my friend John, Johnny Tracy, and, listen to this, so this is before anybody knew Rob Halford was gay,
Yeah.
so, my boy John was, he had, like, the California look, the blonde hair, good-looking kid, and KK Downey came up to him and he goes, "Hey, man, I want to ask you if you swing the other way." And he's like, "What the fuck you talking about?" He goes, "Because Rob Halford's got his eye out for you." He turns around like Rob Halford's like fucking winking at him and shit. And he's like, "Nah." He goes, "You can tell Rob I don't swing that way." But
It's hard to I mean, it's totally accepted now, like, everybody it's like, "Oh, what were all those songs about back then?" And now Rob Halford's still out there performing, you know? I
right,
think he lives in,
right.
like, Arizona or something now. He
But
doesn't live
I
in
mean,
England.
they were so good. I don't even know if it would have mattered back then.
No, nobody cared.
But I think nobody gave a shit. You know what I mean? As long as
Yeah,
they. But same with them. Their first two albums were "Sad Wings of Destiny."
yeah,
Oh my god, that was phenomenal.
and a British Steel.
British. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That was great.
Oh, those are
All
the
right, who
days,
else we
my
gonna
friend.
bullshit?
I got well, I go in and out of listen to Sean Ryan's podcast, and again, we always talk about podcasts like ours, and like, oh, people more people need to listen, and everybody listens to Sean Ryan, but I don't know if they listen to every podcast. What I'm getting at is he had on guy Pete Labor, wound up retiring as a colonel, spent almost this whole time in like Delta, CAG, Delta Force. He was in the unit I was in, 2nd Ranger Battalion prior to that. Like that's how a lot of people go in eventually to the unit is you can't just go in there from the street.
Right,
You're
right.
either
You gotta be.
you're
Yeah.
usually in a Ranger Battalion or special, Green Beret, and then, you get asked to go or sign up to go try out. So anyway, he started there and he was on Sean Ryan. It was like 5 hours worth of content. And, he had he was an officer. He had his hands in on a lot of shit. And one of them was the Pat Tillman, who was played for the Cardinals and then joined the Army after 9/11. And he was actually in the unit I was in. He was in 2nd Ranger Battalion,
Right.
Fort Lewis. And he got killed over in Afghanistan.
Supposedly friendly fire too, right?
It was friendly fire. Like it's totally freaking check the box now. But at the time, these people running the show didn't want to admit that. I guess they were patting himself on the back. So they put him in for a Silver Star. They said they're still investigating. Blaber goes into it on the podcast. And if anybody wants to get in there and listen, just a ton of crap about our military and command and stuff that you would expect, especially if you're when people make decisions, they're not even there. They're in some freaking office, a
Right, right.
thousand
Yeah.
miles away
Never
watching
even
it on
fucking held a
TV.
rifle, right?
Right. These generals. In fact, fast forward, and I don't know if one had anything to do with the other, but there's a 4-star General Hodney, Hodne, who was in Rangers at the time. He was involved with the operational planning for this thing where Tillman got killed, and Hegseth just whacked him. But if you think about it, back then, I don't know what was he a major maybe back when that happened. He made it all the way up to 4-star general, so nothing ever happened to him.
Yeah. Oops.
And and they lied to Tillman's mom and his family. They never spilled the truth. So what happened, and Blaber talks about it, he, Tillman's mom gets in touch with him because he's wrote a couple books too and said, "Hey, here's all this shit, like 3,500 pages of crap. Can you do me a favor and go through it? I want to find out exactly what happened to my kid, my son."
Right.
And he went through it. He interviewed all these guys that were there, and basically it was friendly fire. They wound up the military wound up reprimanding the platoon leader, a couple squad leaders, like blame them on it. They told people they couldn't talk about it. Um, they basically made everybody feel like shit, you
Well,
know.
what were they doing? Just doing I mean,
What happened was, and I don't remember the whole thing, but they were on some convoy, some Humvee broke down that Tillman was in. Um, they called back and said, "Hey, can you just come with a helicopter? We can't fix this thing and just lift it out of here." "No, we can't do that. Fucking tow it." Well, so they tried to tow it with the other Humvee. The thing basically fell apart. They called and said, "Hey, let's just blow this thing in place so nobody gets it." And they're moving through like the mountains, like these
right, right,
shitty freaking trails. And they wound up back in the rear. Some general says, "No, but you got to bring it with you." They get some Afghani to tow it with some shitty truck. Now, through the same shitty area they were going, they make a decision to split up the platoon. Half of them go with that, half of them continue to go to this village. And
right.
they wind up going through like this canyon that's basically like set up for an
Ambush world,
ambush.
yeah, right.
Now they lose communication. And again, I don't know, I'm not putting out all the details. You should listen to the podcast. But they wind up, now Tillman split up with the rest of them, and now they don't know that that other group is right behind them. So now they get to the objective, and they don't realize that this other group is not the
That
enemy.
that they're Americans.
They're American, and they have like some Afghanis with them too. So they're trying to tell this guy to get behind the rock, Tillman and this PFC that's with him, and the guy's standing up with like an AK. So they light him up, and now they're caught in this friendly fire thing. Nobody even knew they were there. They try to
Fuck
yeah,
me.
yeah. Since they lost Camo, they normally people have satellite radios. They would use the talk as like a relay point.
Right,
Hey,
right.
relay this to so and so, because there were two different frequencies, and those people didn't do that. So,
Was Tillman the only guy that got shot, or was there somebody else too? Well, besides the Afghan who
uh,
got his head
I
blown
think he
off?
was the only one that got killed. And again, I could be wrong, but um, other people got hit. That Afghani guy got smoked.
Yeah,
He was friendly. He was like with them
right.
and I mean, it was just one bad decision after another made by people that weren't on the objective or even going through there. And, they never took responsibility for it. They try to cover it up, try to say, whatever. It was like, try to put Tillman in for an award, and then try to cover it up.
Here's a silver star, sorry we shot you.
Yeah.
You
But
know?
yeah, it was total loss of control. So Blaber's whole thing, and he goes into it on a bunch of other operations that he was involved with too, um, that we could talk about. It's 5
And
hours worth of podcast.
Tillman was a rock star,
He
uh,
was.
ranger too, wasn't he? I mean, the guy
Yeah, I
looked
mean,
like
he
a
was a
he looked like
corporal.
a
I mean,
movie star.
yeah, I mean, he made it there. I'm sure guys looked up to him because he was a pro football player,
Right, right.
you know.
Let me leave
I
he was
mean,
on the Cardinals, I think, right? And he left
yeah, he
the
was on the
Cardinals.
Cardinals. He played for University of Arizona, and then he was on the Cardinals. He was a safety, pretty
Yeah,
sure.
he was a
But
big bastard.
he touches on a ton of stuff. If you're interested in any kind of military type deal and like a different viewpoint, and almost how labor goes into this decentralized command and how we need to change that. Like people are watching stuff with like a predator drone flying over, and they're making decisions, and they're not there. They don't call the person there like, "Hey, like let's
Yeah,
think
yeah.
through this. What would you do? And, to come up with a decision and
Right.
just telling people to do stuff. And
Well,
I mean,
like you
I know
said,
I had
some guy who's never been in combat goes, "Nah, yeah, just send a hellfire there, see what happens."
well, even if he was, he isn't there now, right? Like,
Right,
at
right.
least get the guy on the phone,
That's
and he
there.
goes he was involved with that, what's that, Extortion 6, the double prop helicopter CH-47 that was shot down trying to land, and the guy fell out the back, and then they
Yeah, yeah,
sent
yeah,
other
yeah.
people in. They sent 3 helicopters back to the same spot where there was a machine gun in this
Waiting.
bunker.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Oh,
nobody
here
ever relayed any of that.
here comes
But he
another
goes
one.
into that too. But, yeah, I mean, I know, friends of mine that stayed in and retired, like, towards the end, like, you're wired up. Like, when you're on these missions, you got 2 different radio things in your ear. There's people watching you exactly. They can see exactly where
Right,
you
right,
are.
right,
And the people you're ready to smoke somebody or do something. Somebody's like, no, hold up. Like it's like a video game, but
right.
real people are out there, you know?
It's so
So,
fucked.
but it's super interesting. And the other thing, and we're not going to spend a whole podcast talking about it, he started like having military dogs. Like, up till through the Vietnam War, they used them, but then they kinda just went into, like, bomb sniffing and that kinda shit,
Right.
and he had the idea in, like, '99, like, "Hey, these if we had dogs, it would help us in, like, our mission in Delta Force, clearing buildings, whatever," and he got, like, green light from command, like, "Alright, we'll look into this thing." So, he wound up going to San Antonio, Lackland Air Force Base is where all, like, dog training takes place. That guy said, "Well, we don't do like shooting here with the dogs or helicopters, but we'll help you any way you want. Like, I'm all down. I think this is good." And he went to Belgium, got 2 of these dogs. Long story short, they started like military multi-purpose canine, and now they're in every unit. Rangers
Well,
got
yeah, and
them,
it saves
dealt
lives.
saved tons of lives. So he goes in the one last thing, and then we'll get off the whole Pete Blaber thing. But these Belgian Malinois, he had them, and the people in Belgium, they only listen to commands in Belgique, and they guys work with them. They said these dogs will be trained, and like you'll think they're on point, but they really won't go to what they call like PhD level, like the master's PhD level, so they taste blood. And he goes, once that happens, you're going to see a totally different dog. And they were like, what the fuck?
Yeah, yeah,
So I
yeah.
said they were in Iraq staying in some house, and they made sure it was a good spot, like with an open field, so nobody could sneak up on them. And there was some Iraqi or a couple Iraqis out there with sniper rifles shooting at the house, probably looking to take somebody out as a target. And the dogs were outside.
Oh,
Anyway, the
shit.
dogs fucking zeroed in on this dude that was out there with a rifle weapon, and they heard this fucking blood curdling scream. They went out, they locked and loaded, kitted up, and they head out there, and they find the guy. The dog's got his jaw locked on the guy's head,
Nice.
and they won't let go
The
until
command.
until the command. The guy's screaming, and they tell the guy to let go. His face is totally fucked up, and they said after that the dog
Those
was
dogs would
totally
be
different.
nasty, dude. Those dogs
Oh,
with those
dude, out of
Belgian Malinois.
control. Yeah. So I think it was good, but if you get a chance, it was a lot of content, but super interesting, especially if you were in the military. And
Well, and just the whole
yeah,
Pat Tillman thing is interesting.
uh,
Yeah, dude, the
yeah,
other day, I was in Trader Joe's, right? And there was a guy, and I was, like, trying to figure out what kinda hat he had on. Like, it was just so fucked up looking. It was like this it looked like he had a dead, like, cat on his head, right? So I'm saying, "Man, what?" And then he ends up standing 2 people in front of me online because on Trader Joe's, you just gotta wait online. Bro, it was a toupee. Like,
look like some
why
animal.
bro, it looked like a fucking it looked like a little kitten, like, rolled up on his head.
Yeah,
And I don't know. I've never seen a good one,
right.
and I was just like, "Why?" like, especially in this day and age where, like, if I was really going bald, I would shave my head, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or whatever. But, like, it's like this guy actually looked in the mirror and said, "This thing looks awesome."
Somebody
I got
probably told him it looked good.
yeah,
Yeah.
the hooker he was with. "You look fabulous, guy."
Yeah,
And
and
they're not cheap, dude. You know, I said, I gotta check this out when I go home." And I went home and, bro, these things are you could spend a couple grand on these things, but they
yeah.
never, ever, ever look right. I mean, yours
Mm,
looks good.
yeah, mine looks good. I wish it was well, I don't wish it
Dude,
was
I'm
that.
just
I
happy
wish it was thicker.
we both got hair. That's all that
Yeah,
fucking
but it's getting
matters.
thinner and thinner.
Yeah, but, still, who gives a fuck?
Um, yeah, I had it to well, we won't go spend forever on it, but how about that dude that, was the master sergeant that bet online about the Maduro raid? Like, he was involved with the planning and
Right.
everything,
That
bet
that was
on it,
brilliant.
and he wound up making, like, 409K on it, and they wound up finding out it was him. He's gonna go to, like, federal jail over
I
this shit.
know, come on. And you
Yeah,
got these
yeah,
congressmen and shit that make 150 grand a year. They're worth $80 million now because insider trading. And this guy's smart enough.
right,
I mean, I get it because he knew what was going to happen, but
yeah,
still,
but
I
so
mean, they
did
should have
they.
gave him a little slap on the wrists, maybe
I know.
demote him or something. You know
No,
what I
they
mean?
went hard on him, and they had to
Yeah,
dig too. He used a VPN. He changed shit into crypto with an account. Like, he moved money and stuff, and they still found it, you know?
yeah. Somebody
Meanwhile,
and somebody had to rat him out,
somebody definitely ratted him out. Either that
or
they
he
I
opened his
don't know.
mouth. I mean,
Yeah,
that's dude. I made 400K on the Maduro mission. You know what I mean?
right.
That's just he just should have did his whatever how many years he had left and just said, "See ya," and just left with his
I
400K.
guess. I don't know if he actually ran around and said, did all that. He posted a picture of himself on the Iwo Jima with a rifle and stuff. That's where they brought Maduro when they came back on the helicopter. So he was like direct. I don't think he went there, but he was
He
involved.
was involved, right, right.
Yeah. I mean,
But
he was a E8. I mean, he's at the, probably at the end of his career.
but it's just amazing what you can bet on now.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to bet on Maduro.
Maduro, you think they're gonna get him? Yeah.
I'm wondering because you and I have been talking, like, again, I'm in the running, even though I, built like a chimpanzee and I'm never going to run that fast, but I like running. And that Sebastian Sawe dude, this weekend in London just broke the 2 hour mark for a official marathon. Like,
That's insane.
it's insane.
It's
Actually,
insane.
that race, the top three, first, second, and third, all broke the current world record.
So what would they
And
run at 4.5 minute miles?
4.5 minute miles for
Fuck.
fucking 26 miles. Like I say,
I can't
people
walk a
like
mile in 4 minutes, dude.
make like, some guy that plays in the NFL, you're like, oh, he runs a 40 and whatever. And like, whatever, dude. He's not that big good of an athlete. He's
Right,
just
right.
naturally gifted. These guys are running 13 miles an hour. Try have your car go 13 miles an hour and see how long you can run next to
Right,
it
right, exactly.
for 2 hours. Um, so
And what was
he
his final time? For
1:59:30.
Jesus
The
Christ.
second place guy was I can't pronounce his name. He was from Ethiopia. He ran a 1:59:41. He was 11 seconds behind him, and then third place was Kiplimo. He still broke the existing world record. So
And the
sub
top
2,
3 guys broke the
the
existing world
current world
record.
record, and 2 of them were sub 2. So I'm
Unreal.
wondering if anybody bet. I'm sure people bet on that race, like, what the time was gonna be, and if anybody had, like, somebody was gonna run a sub 2, you know?
They won
Yeah, they won some money,
because nobody's
but
ever done that before, right?
no. Eliud Kipchoge used to be the world record holder, and he had this thing with Nike where they did he did a sub 2 just underneath it, but it was, like, not official race. He had pacers. They waited for the perfect weather. It was like a promo that Nike did. But
Right,
this
right.
is the first time in, like, an official race somebody actually ran a sub 2. you know?
That's
So,
that's I
yeah.
couldn't even think of that. My knee hurts sitting here. Never mind fucking running
No, but I
20
mean,
feet.
the guys all leg and lung. I think I looked it up. Sawe is like my height, like 5'7". He's 120 pounds.
Oh,
It's it's
jeez.
like a
You could
bird,
you could throw
you
him
know?
across the room. Yeah.
If you
Jesus
could
Christ.
catch him.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Get over here, you
yeah.
little prick.
Oh, so the second place dude, it was his first. Again, he's ran the distance before, but in an official event, it's the first time he's done the marathon. Like, he was like a 5K, 10K guy. I think at one of the distances, he held the world record or something, and he made the
Right, right.
jump. And, yeah,
Came in
first time
second.
out. Came in second. If the other dude wasn't there, he would have went sub 2 and set a new world record.
So I guess money wise, all you get is sponsorships from that shit, right?
No, he made out on this. I forget the final take, like 400K or something, only because he won the first place prize. He got a bonus for going sub 2, and he got a bonus for, like, a world record, and it added up to
Wow.
whatever, and he gets
400K in
sponsored.
Kenya.
Oh, those guys are living large. I
Living
mean, they
large.
rely on
Yeah.
sponsorships, but
Yeah.
nothing like, playing in the NFL, right? Like,
Well,
imagine
yeah.
the work that this dude puts in to be able to run like that, you know?
Yeah.
Those
I
guys in the
mean,
NFL don't do nearly that amount of work.
oh, no. No. No.
Yeah,
No, 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 not but they show some of these freaks, like, at the NFL Combine that are, like,
yeah,
300 and something and running, 4.5, 40, but then they're winded to shit after it, but still, to
yeah,
carry that much meat around and run the 40 in 5 seconds is that's that's pretty fucking amazing.
right. But we always go back and forth with that. Like, I try and run a few times a week, but lately, and we were talking about this, I've been doing like maybe once a week going on the treadmill, and I'll put like a weighted vest on sometimes and go on an incline and walk. I mean, and you do a ton of walking, but it burns more fat than running. Like, they're saying that at 10 to 12% incline, that you burn more fat and calories than running 3 miles by doing that.
And especially if you're walking and you're doing the arm movements, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Just the you know,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
burn a lot more calories.
So, I mean, a lot of people, they go in the I mean, you see it, you go to the gym a lot. My gym is like a lot of older people, but you go there and people like barely moving. Like, you don't have to do much. Just start going on the treadmill for even 10 minutes and put it
Right,
on some incline
right,
and just gradually make your time in there worthwhile. Like, if you're
right.
just going to go on the treadmill and walk, like reading a book, you ain't doing shit,
Yeah,
but you can burn some
yeah.
serious freaking calories and torch some fat just by adding an incline and, speeding it up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I
Yeah.
said it, like, I gotta get surgery on my right knee because a piece of my implant came loose, and sometimes, I mean, wherever this thing moves to, sometimes it hurts like hell, and other times, like right now, it doesn't hurt at all, but, man, I thought this guy, I'm such an asshole. When I said it to the orthopedist, he's like, "Well, I'm gonna have to make an incision and take it out." And I'm like, "All right, cool. Can we do this now?" He's like, "No, we can't. This is surgery. I can't just cut your leg open in my fucking office, you idiot."
Right.
But it's like, I'm thinking it's gonna be in a couple of weeks. It's in the end of June. It's like, dude, all right, that's it was fucking 2.5 months from when I went there.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. At least I'm gonna get it done. But I guess they don't need it anymore because I said, "Do you gotta put a new one?" And he's like, "Nah, you don't really need that thing."
Yeah, spare part. It's like when you
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
take the transmission apart and you got a couple bolts out there.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
talk about spare parts, I seen a play the other night called Spare Parts, and listen to this shit. It was about a billionaire who cloned a kid when he was younger, right? Or, had like a test tube baby made out of his, DNA. So he pays some woman to be this kid's mother, so the kid grows up the whole time, and all this stuff is planned out, and now this young kid becomes this guy's assistant.
Mm.
So he gets like these DNA people to come, and he wants to do, this is all like if this shit could happen. He wants to have a blood transfusion because in his billionaire head, he thinks if I put this younger kid's blood in my body and he takes my blood.
Yeah.
So the name of the play was called Spare Parts because the only reason he had this kid, you know, made in the test tube was so he could have spare parts when he's older. And
Right.
I'm sure it's another thing that goes on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
definitely. Like they say over in China, like people just stealing people's body parts and selling them on
Right.
the black market, like livers and
Yeah. I
lungs, and
mean, there's
there's some
things where
fucked
people
up
go in to
people out
get
there.
their kidney done,
Yeah.
or and not
Like
only
the
they're
dude that
missing their
just took out the liver instead of the um spleen
the spleen.
that we talked
Oops.
about last
Yeah,
week.
yeah. Was
I
that
don't know.
was that?
Yeah,
I don't know. It's
the
fucking
doctor down here in Florida. But I think the last thing we actually had on the board for today was this lunatic. And again, I wanted to wait till the end, and I don't want to. These people are sick, and I don't want. I mean, everybody out there, we're not fans of anybody doing this. I just think it's good to talk about, to know there's fucked up people out there, and you got to just be on the lookout, keep your head on a swivel,
yeah. Oh yeah.
because you run into somebody in the store, and I don't know, maybe shit goes south and you get in the crosshairs. You got to remember these people are out there. So and we talked about first up the medical, and that poor person loses their liver. They have no control over that, but you're out. You got younger girls out at bars or whatever, and they're
Right,
not
right.
paying attention. They get freaking drugged and
Roofied, right?
roofied, and people getting kidnapped. There's some sick fucking people. Like,
Well, bro, even like the other day, I'm waiting for the subway, and I always stand back from the tracks because there's always
yes,
some crazy prick
yes,
that'll push you
situational
onto the
awareness.
fucking right. And I even said it to Elise. I'm like, look at like there's all these young people like they're at the edge of the platform, like looking down the track. Like all you got to do is walk over and go dunk, and it's
Right.
over. You're on the tracks,
Yeah.
and I seen a guy not too long ago, like one of his earbuds fell out, landed
Yeah.
on a track. Thank God he was a young guy. Train wasn't coming. He hopped on there and hopped back up. I was like, for fucking for an earbud, but like
Yeah.
and like the subway, dude, you've been on it a million times. If you look down the tunnel, you see the lights, but the thing's going 60 miles an hour. It's gonna be here like boom.
Yeah. And
And
the
oh,
sound echoes the wrong
right,
way. You
right.
don't know how far it is.
Let me go get my $150 earbud.
Right.
It's worth my life.
So
Yeah,
like
it's
over past episodes, we had like that lunatic that was banging the dead deer carcass, and
and the pit bull, another
pit
guy
bulls,
banging
which
banging
is
a pit
freaking
bull.
anybody that abuses an animal, especially dogs. I mean, is sick. So now I'm looking at this week. Now now if you've seen this
Hillary
person,
Clinton.
it looks like Hillary Clinton, doesn't it? You would say to yourself, if you've seen her in the store, I don't know, man, how dangerous could she be? But anyway, her name, Amanda Lay. This is off the US ICE Facebook page. Amanda Lay Flores, a US citizen from Illinois, paid thousands of dollars to have others make sexual torture videos involving adult and baby monkeys for people in deranged online chat groups. So I'm assuming she was getting paid from these people were paying her to watch these fucking videos. Known as animal crush videos, they show real monkeys being burned alive and having their genitals mutilated.
What?
Yes.
People wanna
Hey,
watch this shit?
who would want to watch that? Again, there are people out there, so stay alert, stay alive, and keep your head on a swivel. And there's people like this that are
Fat
facilitating that,
Hillary Clintons, yeah.
fat Hillary Clintons. But that's fucking insane, you
Oh
know?
my god. Yeah,
Those
it's
people would think
it's
nothing of like having your kid in some video, I'm sure.
it's like remember the videos from remember Faces of Death?
Yeah, that was nothing. That was like
Yeah, but
stu
but they had that one with the monkey. Remember they had the little
Yes.
monkeys and they were
In there, and the
banging it with a
people are
fucking
cracking
hat
its head,
with
and I'm
its
like,
with
"I
a
don't
hat.
wanna watch this."
Right, right.
Yeah. But, I mean, those were just some psychopaths that, like, killed a monkey live and then ate its brain or
Yeah,
something in,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
India or whatever.
yeah.
There's people out there that are paying, I'm sure, on these, like, insane chat groups to, like, watch shit like that,
Fucking
and
insane.
these animals are, like, suffering, and what the going past that is if they're doing it to an animal, they easily do it to a
It's
person.
yeah. No, I'm sure there's on the dark
Yes.
web, I'm sure you can find all that shit.
Right.
But, like, when did you wake up and say, "Today's the day I wanna see a monkey's head get fucking smashed in." You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I don't know, I'm feeling a little horny today. I would really like to see a monkey's balls get burned.
yeah, babe, put that outfit on you got, and I just wanna watch this monkey getting
Monkey
balls
get
video.
right. I don't
What the
know, man. So,
fuck,
like
dude?
I said, if we see anything pop up, we're gonna throw it out there only because watch
Where
over
did that happen? Where did that happen, with that
Illinois.
crazy bitch? Illinois?
Yeah, and she was I don't know why it was on ice, I guess because,
Well, her last name's Flores, right? You say
yeah, but
Flores?
she was a US citizen,
Oh,
they said, but, I mean, it's out there, like, you gotta
and
be
where are you
careful.
getting where are you getting monkeys to do this? You know what I mean?
I
The
don't know.
fucking monkey farm, where's that come from?
I don't know, I
Right,
mean, I guess you got money, you can buy anything,
yeah, oh,
and then
yeah,
she was
yeah.
paying people to make these videos, which I'm guessing if you're paying somebody, then you're making money on it.
Oh,
I
no
don't know.
doubt,
I didn't
no
even wanna
doubt.
do a follow-up on it, I just figured we need to talk about this stuff
Oh,
because
talk about running, dude. Did you see that robot that beat, in China?
in China in the half marathon.
Yeah, and
I
everyone's, like,
know.
surprised. I can't believe it won it. Why
Yeah.
robots don't get tired, they don't stop for water, they don't gotta take a dump, they don't
No.
gotta
Well,
do
one of the other
anything.
ones right at the very beginning just fell over, so it
Yeah, I
wasn't
seen
like
that one.
everybody
Yeah, yeah.
finished, you know?
That was probably the American one. So, it's okay.
But with that, with we'll end on stay alert, stay alive, keep your head on a swivel, situational awareness,
No monkey ball
no
burning videos.
burning videos, and Mike, take us home
Listen, thank you for listening, all 80 of you, and, we're gonna say later,
later. Skulls.
skulls.